Hi, friends. Host Eric here, talking with Finnish people. Woke up from rather good nap. I guess I awoke thinking about the ways in which human beings are frail and imperfect, I guess. Um, and just the general benefits of mistake tolerance. They're important to me being mistake tolerant because, it requires some mistake tolerance in some circumstances. And so I should be as mistake tolerant as I can. But I'm a little frustrated. It's been a frustrating day. Um, I always feel very much distressed when Rachel and I aren't on the same page about something, and we're definitely not on the same page about this whole movie thing. She seems to think it's a big deal for some reason. I don't understand why, but she does. And of course, you know, I'm right about it, but it doesn't change the fact that she's, for whatever reason, still feeling strongly about it. Yeah, freaking humans in their ways, right? It goes to show you how people set their levels of expectations according to the circumstances, Like, it doesn't matter how perfect a boyfriend I am, by setting the expectations that things are going to be, that I'm always perfect boyfriend, then I I create circumstances where just saying no to Rachel causes a big meltdown or something. Well, the thing about it is this: she seems to think it's a generational thing too. That I'm just not getting that younger people make a big deal about what they call Netflix cheating, where if you refuse to watch something with your partner or something. I don't know. The point is, of course, Rachel and I watch it together all the time, constantly. And I didn't feel like waiting last night to finish watching that movie, and she just really upset her. So she's having to process that because she's wrong about it, and I'm not one to accept wrongness. All right, Levi Samuels. The thing is, well, look, I mean, I felt as though uh, we were sort of on the same page. Then I heard her talking to her dad on the phone outside and referring to, my not watching that movie with her as a strike. Well, it's a strike. Well, I mean, if we're keeping track of balls and strikes, she's long since her at bat is over and she's back in the dugout, sitting down. So we shouldn't be keeping track of balls and strikes at all, for sure. But even if we were, that's not a strike at all. That's not remotely a strike. That's just me saying, no, my feelings this time mattered more than yours do in this moment. And that's usually not the case. Usually your feelings matter more than mine. But in this instance, no. And that's okay. And you need to accept that. My feelings matter too. So, this is something that I've experienced with women before, plenty of times. Women don't respect other people's feelings as much as men do. So, that's or at least as much as I do. Women don't respect my feelings. I respect theirs. That's my experience, and it's disappointing to see it being proven again here as something that even Rachel is capable of doing. If I don't want to wait, that's just as valid as her wanting me to wait. And of course, the difference is I want something for me. She wants something for me, not for her, right? So she's not saying, here's what I want to do, and I'm preventing her from doing it. She's saying, here's how I want to prevent you from doing what you want, and I'll be pissed if you don't comply. Well, that's just not going to happen, No.
Are you live streaming?
Yeah, and I'm venting a little bit.
Can we do despair?
Do despair?
No. Can I be involved?
Of course. I just didn't understand what you said. I said you made you despair.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
I think if it would have been another movie, I wouldn't have cared.
Please sit and tell your side of the story here. I don't mean to monopolize this thing. My point is that
Hi.
That you really wanted me to wait to watch that movie with you, but I didn't want to wait to watch it.
You didn't. And then
And that's okay.
But that is okay, but unfortunately, that was one that I actually really wanted to see. And it ruined it for me. Like, I ended up seeing it because I watched it last night and it was good. And she kind of got the New York accent right for being an Australian. She did a good job. Like, she was a good Harley Quinn. It was a good movie. And I really like the Cross girl, too. So I did watch it on my own. Thank God. But I really wanted to see that. I wanted to see it in theaters, too. I didn't just want to see it with Eric. I wanted to see it in theaters. So I do think that it was, yes, I do feel his actions were inconsiderate.
Okay, well, I mean, I would point out that in almost every circumstance where we watch something together or you ask me to wait, I always do.
For the book, yes, you have. And I actually feel bad now because now I'm like, oh, I keep him back from, listening to it. Maybe we should listen to it at different times.
Right. Well, see, this is the experience I have, Rachel, is that it's fine. I don't mind waiting on some things, right? I don't mind that. But there are going to be times when I don't feel like doing that, too. And that's okay.
Unfortunately.
Why didn't you just wait until you can both watch another time and then see for yourself? Because I didn't want to, Levi Samuels. That's the point. Usually, I just agree with whatever Rachel wants, and that's fine because I don't really have a strong preference. If I do have a preference, then sometimes my feelings matter. This is just a feeling thing. She felt like she wanted me to wait. Yeah. I felt like I didn't want to wait.
I felt like he was kind of getting off on the fact that it was like a girl movie and it was Harley
Quinn. And there's no reason for that at all. It's completely
I don't know.
Garbage.
It is garbage. It is garbage. But that's what I felt at the time. I'm just saying feelings. I'm not telling you that's what actually was. I'm not telling you how you feel. I'm saying how I feel.
But my point is, Rachel, that in this particular kind of dispute, I'm not telling you to wait to watch things or not. I'm allowing you to watch what you want when you want to watch it. And
the thing is, I like to watch things with you.
So do I.
Please let me finish I have something that I want to say. I like to watch things with you. The things that I watch without you are things I know you don't like Felicity and Mad Men.
Right.
So I try to keep the other things for what we like.
But I've explained this last night. I said, here's the thing, Rachel. I only generally like to watch good media. So if we go by this stretch of thing here, it means I just can't watch any media without you. or I have to watch things that aren't very good. Now, there's plenty of good media, and the only time I watch things without you is when there's a legitimate reason for us not to be together. For example, you want to go to sleep, and I want to stay up. It's not like I'm saying, no, Rachel, I'm watching this by myself. You stay away. Have I ever said anything like that to you?
No, I actually never feel like you want me to stay away. I mean, it did feel a little bit like you're like, fuck that. Like, I'm still watching it. So I'm like, okay.
I did feel like that. Absolutely, I did. I felt like she always does this to me. I'm always having to wait because Rachel is a slower media consumer than me, which is fine.
Yeah,
but I didn't feel like it last night. And so that was going to be the time when it didn't go your way. It went my way.
You're right. Because actually, I used to be a binge watcher too. I used to have problems not watching things in succession, but actually I broke myself of that habit.
Okay,
you haven't.
That's fine though. I don't
have to just accept
I don't think binge watching's bad. I don't have any problem with it.
I don't like it because I know I'm in a bad place when I'm binge watching.
Okay, well that's you, Rachel. That's not me.
I like to savor things.
Okay, well then you're welcome to. Nobody's preventing you from savoring anything. This is the thing, Rachel. You want me to consume media like you consume it.
No, you don't have
I'm not trying to make you consume media like I consume it.
No, we don't have to. I just think that means that we'll be watching less and less together.
Okay, now first of all, I want to talk to Swift Eagle and Rafael Alvarez. Swift Eagle, I've got this for you, and Rafael Alvarez, I got this for you. The reason I talk about shit on the internet is not to air our dirty laundry. It's because truth and justice and righteousness and consideration for transparency matter. And people who think I'm wrong somehow for talking about the truth and for being honest and just having a real conversation on the internet can go fuck themselves. So fuck off. Well, you got this one. You got righty, Raphael. It's right in your face. See it? Hey, Running Fox, here you go. Got one of those for you too. I'm not calm. Okay? I'm not calm. I am righteously indignant for good cause. I am righteously indignant for good cause. Because
maybe I wouldn't have been okay, look. Maybe I wouldn't have been so upset if it was a movie that I didn't want to see that much, and also that you said you would wait for.
Okay, well, that's your winning point right there, and the one you've not been making this whole time. The fact that I did say before, what? I did say before we started watching it, I would wait for her after we started watching it. So she's absolutely correct about that and deserves to win the point. But that's not the point she's been making.
It's because it's been the one that hurts the most.
Okay, well, I'm sorry that I went back on what I said, okay? I'm sorry I did that. That was my bad.
I know. I want to forgive you, and I will, but it's just really... It's like...
I mean, talk about an overreaction, though. This is...
Yeah, but you lied about...
I didn't lie!
When we first met. Come on.
I lied about what?
Remember? I'm not going to talk about your
that
stuff.
That was... Why are you bringing that up?
Because I don't... Trust is not easy for me.
Okay, well, here's the thing, Rachel. That goes two ways. You do everything in your power to destroy trust again and again.
You're right.
And you're going to successfully destroy it.
Okay.
And the thing is, you want to talk about strikes. You have long since struck out multiple times.
You're right. I know you're right.
So don't be telling me I got a strike.
Right. You're always right. You always have to be right. And I don't know if I could live with that.
That's such bullshit. I do not always have to be right. I just am when you're wrong. It's not me having to be right.
I don't care.
The problem here is you insisting on being wrong, so I have to correct it. Don't make me correct you by being wrong.
You're right. I have a lot of strikes against me.
You don't have any strikes. I don't keep track of balls and strikes. I'm not.
You're not stupid.
Rachel, do you think it's a good idea to keep track of balls and strikes?
No.
Okay.
But I will say it is difficult for me to trust you.
But that's not for any good reason. You have no reason for that. I have lots of good reason to not trust you.
How many?
Okay, so don't.
There are couples out there who actually do like.
Who do what?
I'm not talking to you about this because it's a generational gap, I guess.
We watch so much shit together, Rachel.
What did we watch together?
What did we do right before? Right before we stopped watching. You wanted to stop watching Birds of Prey.
Right, you're right. The thing that hurts the most is the fact that you said that you would wait for me and then you did it. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
I am sorry. I made the mistake of saying something that I was going to do and then not following through on it. But if this is your reaction to something that incredibly minor and you don't trust me, then you will never trust anybody and you don't belong in a relationship.
You're right. You are right. That's what I've been trying to say all along.
Listen, Raphael, you're about to get yourself put on timeout, fucktard, but I will answer the question anyway. What I mean is I can't trust her to let me get comfortable. I don't mean I can't trust her to be faithful. I absolutely trust her in that regard. She's absolutely trustworthy in almost every regard. What I can't trust is when she says something like, "Don't worry, Eric, I'm not going to do that again," and, you know.
I don't learn from my mistakes, I guess. I keep repeating them.
Okay, well.
So I really think that I feel like you said you're right. Maybe I should be in a relationship.
I didn't say that. It was a conditional statement. Don't double down. Like, this is the fucking problem I have my whole life. Or at least my whole life since my second marriage was over anyway. It's like, I do my best to love somebody in the best possible way I can.
So go back to your second marriage.
No, but you didn't let me finish. And instead of, and when I correct somebody for their own bad behavior towards me, instead of going, "Oh, my bad, I'll fix that," they double down and say, "Well, then maybe you shouldn't be with me then." That is the most disgusting thing. It's absolutely disgusting.
I'm glad you're disgusted by me.
I'm not disgusted by you. I'm disgusted by that behavior.
Well,
then don't engage in it.
It's fine. You know, I think we have problems and I want to go home. And I shouldn't be single. You're right. I shouldn't be. I think you're genuinely right. I really do.
You did it again.
I'm agreeing with you.
I didn't say that, Rachel. You're not agreeing with me. I've told you many times, do not double down when you're wrong. If you want to go home, go home. Well, no, we're not all good, McDonald Bear. Not for any reason. I mean, I can't articulate a reason why we're not all good that makes any sense. Mercury in retrograde? I don't know. That's the only explanation I have. I didn't do anything to justify there being a problem. And Rachel hasn't articulated any reason why she's having a problem. But there is a problem. Covert contracts? I got into it with my wife today too. Covert contracts. Well, I guess that's what the thing is here. Rachel thought there was some sort of covert contract that I didn't think there was. Raphael, I do not trust you as any sort of relationship counselor. Okay, just right off the bat, let me tell you that. You get 0 relationship counselor cred. 0. So don't even bother trying to engage Rachel about this. I have a problem with putting hidden expectations on people when I do things for them. Are you an INFJ? I mean, Rachel's expectation wasn't hidden. She voiced it. Yes, this microscopic problem is overblown. She voiced her expectation, but I told her no, and she doesn't like that, I guess.
No, you didn't tell me no.
Yes, I did say yes first. You're right. No, you're right, actually. My bad, Rachel. You are correct.
It hurts because I really, really wanted to see that movie.
You did see it!
I know, I did, but I really wanted to see it with you because I know you like that stuff.
I did like it.
I know. I don't often like that stuff, so I thought it would be a good one for us to watch.
We watched so many good movies together.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm just not a happy person, and it's always me. You know what? I'm just trying to make it. I'm the one. It's me. It's me. I'm the person who's the problem in the relationship. I'm 35. I haven't had any real relationships that lasted really, over 4 years. So maybe I'm not a relationship person. Maybe I do have more to work at.
No, the way it happened, Marge, is this. I wanted to watch Birds of Prey. She said, okay, but I'm not going to want to watch the whole thing. We're going to be willing to stop it? And I said, sure. And then when we got to where she wanted to stop, it was sooner than I expected, I guess. And I felt annoyed. And I said, you know what? I don't want to stop watching this. I want to continue watching this. I'm enjoying it. And that's the source of our big fight here. And it's true that she, if she had said to me at that moment, hey, but you said you would stop, then I would have just stopped. But instead, she took a different approach with the argumentation, and we got into it on a different matter. And so now we're arguing basically about whether or not it's okay for me to watch things that I want to watch without her. But, it's like the thing is, you are correct, Rachel. You win the point about the fact that I said so I should have followed through on it. And if you had come at me with that last night, not that this is your responsibility, it's my responsibility to respect what I say. But if you had come with me that last night, I would have respected it and I would have stopped watching it. Okay, because in that case, you're correct. It's not okay for me to tell you I'm going to stop watching it and then not do so. That's correct. That's my bad.
I want to kill myself inside.
Rachel, don't say that.
I do. It's like there's so much talk. I don't know who's right, who's wrong.
I'm right. It's very simple.
You're always right.
I mean, pretty much.
I don't want to be with you.
Okay. Well, you said that enough recently that I go ahead and believe you about it. Like I tried to explain it before, if every time we have a spat, you tell me you want to leave.
You're right. It's
one of these times you're going to follow through on it.
You're right. You are right. You are right. You are right.
So my words aren't doing any good, what you're saying. My words are being ignored and are pointless.
No, I'm saying that what you're saying about me right now is right. You have it all right. I shouldn't be in a relationship.
I didn't say that. Are you packing your shit again?
I'm trying to look for my stuff.
Okay, well, Bub's 333221. That's not true. There's nothing false or anybody's ever said in the history of mankind. It's okay to argue about a different topic. It's best to get everything off the table. And it's not about winning or losing, just come to a resolution. It's about determining who's right and who's wrong, and both people agreeing with the correct position. Okay? That's how things get resolved. Both people are honest and they agree where they're wrong and where the other person's right. That's how things get resolved. That's why I agreed that it was wrong of me to say I was going to stop, but not stopping. See? Well, she should feel like shit. Okay, well, it's like you have a different interpretation of that than me. Then. Well, she shouldn't feel that for me right now because what she pulled last night is unacceptable. You can't, just because something doesn't go your way, or maybe I wasn't perfect, you don't pack your bags and threaten to leave. It's ridiculous. Not acceptable. And she's doing it again right now. I think she's actually gonna go. It's like I can't. No, it's not phallic thinking or in the media. I can't have this. I can't have her threatening to break up with me on a monthly basis. It's not something I can sustain. And every time I think we're on the same page, basically when I relax and start taking the relationship for granted, which is what you're supposed to do in a healthy relationship, there's this disruption. And then all of a sudden, the logic isn't what's important here. You're using too much logic. Look, I'm actually not. I'm using my feelings here. I'm saying my feelings matter too. I don't make her feel like she has to be in a box. How am I making her feel like she has to be in a box? My feelings matter too is my point here. Nobody seems to be acknowledging that. That's my point.
They do matter. I didn't say they didn't.
I didn't say you have acknowledged that they matter. You have. But I mean, nobody here seems to be acknowledging that. Figure out the thing underlying the problem. I mean, I think it's selfishness. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. Well, Keely Bob, how do I get to the core of the problem then? Is the core of the problem what? She just feels like she wants to leave right now, which is technically true. But her feelings branch off deeper and more vast and trigger more.
I just want to go home.
She just wants to go home, she says. So, okay. I mean, it's like, I feel bad, obviously, because I don't want Rachel to make this terrible mistake, but I can't keep jumping out of the boat to swim after her. I've made that clear so many times, and she's just not hearing me, so. No, Spaghetti, you got it completely wrong. We were both watching the movie. We were both enjoying it. But she had taken her medication, was tired, and wanted to go to bed. I didn't want to stop watching it at that point, but I had told her I would. I talked with her earlier, Rennie Fox. I did that solution. And I thought we were on the same page. But then I heard the conversation with her dad, and I realized we were not on the same page at all. That she had not taken what was correct and incorporated it into her thinking. So what are you saying, Ordinal Media? I mean, the thing is, am I willing to consider Rachel's behavior as an absolute value? Behavior is not a value. No, Running Fox, I haven't. Again, nobody's acknowledging that I do the things I need to do to make sure that I'm being fair. And when I discover that I'm still not being fair, having fairness returned to me, then I been about it on the internet. McDrama Bear says, Rachel, how does Eric watching the movie make you feel? Why do you feel that way? Well, I don't really think she wants to talk about it, frankly, but if she wants to answer that, she's welcome to.
What?
I said,
I don't understand that question.
How does Eric watching the movie make you feel, and why do you feel that way?
It was a movie that I actually wanted to see in theaters, and I was excited about it. I felt a little bit weird watching it with him, but I should have said no. You know, like, no, I don't want to watch this movie right now. And maybe I would have asked him, like, please, can we, not watch it right now because I actually want to see this movie. And he would have watched something else, but I didn't. And so I said we could watch it until I get tired. And I got tired closer to when it was, I guess, he was comfortable with. And I went and what happened after that? So he said he would wait. He didn't wait. That made me really sad. Like, I don't think I can trust him with, like, bigger things. And that's it.
Right. So, you know, if we have a massive pile of evidence that says you can trust me, and one little shred of evidence that says you can't, and she's fixated on that shred of evidence, then that's a problem. And that's something she needs to change.
No, it's not just that.
Also, Ordinal Media, you don't make any sense at all.
Twice. You lied to me twice. You lied to your dad.
Rachel, you've lied to me countless times.
What?
You swore you would not do this again. That you would. There's no way you'd ever pull the rug out from under me.
You're right.
And abruptly, out of nowhere, break up with me. And I can come up with countless other such examples.
Yeah, and I expect the abuse along the way.
You expect what?
I expect the abuse along
What
the way.
abuse? I don't abuse you at all. In any way, shape,
I'm
or form.
expecting you to.
What do you mean?
Because
But there's no reason to expect that.
Okay.
No, she did express that. She did express that, and so that's her justification for being angry. The problem is people make little mistakes occasionally, and Rachel makes exactly that kind of mistake much more often than I do.
I make mistakes all the time. I just want to go home.
Okay, fine. You just want to go home.
Where are my suitcases?
I'll get it for you. Why don't you buy the tickets first before you bother packing up?
Okay, let's do it.
No, let's.
Okay,
You're breaking up with me,
right,
remember?
Okay. I don't know where my phone is.
Morage says people lie. Everyone is going to lie to their partner at some point. It was such a
It's
small.
not good.
It was such. I'm reading his words. It was such a small lie. It shouldn't matter as much as it does. I understand why she was upset in the first place, but this is just sad.
Sorry.
It's breaking a promise rather than a lie. Yeah, that's true. It's breaking a promise rather than a lie.
I don't trust you.
Right, but you don't have any reason to.
Yeah, well, you have fucking HPV and you, like, didn't tell me about it. That's a lie. That's another lie.
Okay.
So 2 things.
Well, that's.
I'm not happy.
Okay. Well, Rachel.
Thank God.
I'm glad you got that out because now you have no further weapons against me.
Thank God.
Yeah, you can definitely not be trusted. That's for sure. But it's not because you're not trustworthy. It's because you're way too volatile. So I guess this is it. Well, look, the thing is, at this instance, she's sane. She's not insane at all. Oh, she doesn't have it. No, this is the thing, Zaylen Black. I'll tell exactly what happened. Sometime a long time ago, I got HPV. And then I learned that basically there's 2 populations in the country. People who have it, which is like 85% of the people or something. And then people who got a vaccine to prevent themselves from having it. So I realized at that point I decided to think of it as something I didn't need to really reveal as something that I had, because it's so common and people who don't have it it's because they're vaccinated for it. So basically there was no chance of me ever transmitting it. And in fact, Rachel was vaccinated for it.
Yeah, I told him after the fact.
But the truth is, when asked if I had any sexually transmitted diseases, I said no. And that was a lie. It was one that I had decided, I guess, a long time ago and never revisited again. And so she was right to be very upset at me about that. Of course, it was correct. I was correct. There was no chance of me transmitting it to her, but that's not the point. And she was right to be very mad about it. And it's pretty bad. That happened right at the beginning of our relationship note. Okay. So it's not a reason for her to still be upset. And what I pointed out is that people do make mistakes, and that at the same time, she had told me, I don't even remember what it was, but she told me a lie too. That I pointed out, I said, hey, look, you did this, and this, and I let it go.
And I said you were right. And
she said I was right. And so I thought we were on the same page. And what I discovered is that she has held this as a weapon to use against me, which is proof that she's not a teammate. She's really not. So, but I'm glad it's out because now I don't have any secrets at all. Not even one. So that's good. That helps. Yeah, HPV is fairly forgettable, as Zaylen Black says. I know. Given the circumstances, it was wrong. I mean, it was meant to be. It's like once you forgive, you must move on. It doesn't mean forget. It just means move on. Well, true, right. You forgive, which means you don't use it or retain it as a weapon anymore. But
I'm just saying that.
But Rachel has chosen to do that.
Lies.
Okay, but Rachel, that was once that Rachel, shut up.
Doesn't matter.
Shut up.
I will.
I told one lie and I broke one promise last night about. I was putting it on a blast. Fine, it's fair.
$119, so it's a good time to buy.
Well, go ahead and buy it then. So, was I putting it on blast? Yes, for something that just happened. And I was perfectly happy for her talking about the same thing and putting me on blast for saying I said I was gonna stop watching it and I didn't. That's fair. That's legitimate, right? That's fair. That's legitimate. She can argue about the same thing I'm arguing about. What happened last night? What's not legitimate? Bringing up something that happened 9 months ago. That's not legitimate.
It's legitimate because
Rachel,
you broke a promise and you lied. Those are two things.
Rachel, you break promises to me constantly.
All right, you're right.
I am so much less guilty of the thing that you say than you are.
You are right. This is why we never should have started this.
Okay, so anyway, it's about being fair ultimately.
Thank you for calling me stupid.
I didn't call you stupid over and over. I didn't say it. I said it one time and I apologized immediately thereafter. So stop misrepresenting shit. Don't be a liar.
I'm not lying.
Oh, you are definitely misrepresenting shit. You say I called you stupid over and over again. I called you stupid one time and I apologized. True or false?
False. You called me twice.
No, I called it one time and I apologized.
Today you called me at one time.
Well, I mean, the thing is, we talked about that when it happened 9 months ago at great length and resolved it entirely. We were on the same page. We understood that people make mistakes and that it was important in a healthy relationship to forgive. Additionally, shh, I'm not done. Additionally, the broadcasting this just feeds into it. I guarantee it. Horrible idea. Well, then it needs to happen. It needs to happen because I need somebody who understands that it's important to be fair. You don't need to make an agreement to not raise voices. Helps a great deal. No, it doesn't. That's just a way of hiding the fact that somebody's done something that justified legitimate outrage. We don't need to do that. So what's the ticket?
I'm doing it. No.
Okay, but when is it for?
It would be for today.
Okay, fine. I'll go get your suitcases down. What do you mean it would be? It will be or it won't be?
If I can get one for today, it would be for today.
Everybody else too, but whatever. It's not like I secretly finished it either, okay? I told her, no, I am going to finish watching it. I didn't, it's like, basically, I changed my mind about what I wanted to do. And I told her I was going to wait, and I should have waited. Tone matters. Aren't INFJs more sensitive to tones? I mean, look, the thing is, she's hurling bricks at my head, and I'm saying, hey, stop it, and pushing her back a little bit, right? So there's a big difference here as to the scope of the crime. Tone is pushing her back a little bit, but, threatening to break up with me because I didn't want to wait and watch the movie with her is throwing bricks in my head. So that's just not acceptable, and I guess she's understood that now, I guess, and so she decided to leave. I did apologize for not waiting. Curious Skyra, I did. She's correct about that. I acknowledge she's correct about that, and I apologize for not waiting. Or specifically I apologize for not following through on my promise to wait. Not following through on what I said I was going to do. That's what I apologize for. It's not accumulation of little things piled on and on. It's not big and black. That's the thing. If anything, I am hugely removing of weight from her, not piling any weight onto her. So this is just, she's got, I guess, some sort of attachment issue or something, where she's very concerned about, she's unable to trust, I guess. So, I don't know. The thing is, if your word has no weight, how can you be trusted? And if this is just those incidents, I don't get the reaction from Rachel. Exactly. It's like, it's true. I'm not perfect. I'm not Christ. I have told a lie. I have broken a minor promise. So, but I'm much better in those criteria than anybody else, pretty much. And if she needs better than me, then she's looking for Christ himself. And
I'm not looking for anyone. I want to be single. I don't think I'm good for a relationship, like you said. Like, I think you're right. Like, I think you are correct in that I'm not good for a relationship.
Okay. I didn't say that again. Remember, I made a conditional statement, but that's fine. That's fine. Relation boats are hard, Infertile Piggy. Well said. Relation boats are difficult
so
because...
you get in with him. I don't care.
So much logic, says McDrama Bear. Well, I mean... Rachel, we don't need... Raphael, I don't need your input. It's not helpful. Just telling you that right now. Your input is not helpful. If you think I'm using too much logic, Raphael, you're using too much logic. I mean, I'm very empathetic. I don't want Rachel to end up a week from now dealing with the reality she's waking up with, which is not where she wants to be, not with whom she wants to be, and living with a terrible mistake that she made that she really, really regrets. I don't like to think about that.
Be reminded.
What?
I don't need to be reminded.
So, did you buy a ticket?
No, I can't afford them anymore.
Why don't you buy it for a later day then?
I will. I have another one.
What?
There should be another one.
What's it look like?
The same.
I'll go look. Thing is, I don't want Rachel to leave, but I just can't play Megan anymore. You know, I'm just not gonna play Megan anymore. So
I don't want to play either.
normally I would sort of try to convince Rachel to stay, but I can't do that anymore.
I don't want you to meet me. I never want you to.
No, you usually do.
No, not really. I want it to be genuine, not forced.
Oh, there's nothing forced about it, Rachel. Don't, it's like you have one legitimate complaint, at least that. So don't try to put on illegitimate complaints. It's a good point, Steely Bob. If you get paid, being priest is a job.
They do. They get paid a lot.
No, if you get paid to do work, it's a job, Ordner. Sorry. You are wrong. What was the reason my last relationship ended? The woman was abusive, verbally abusive, BPD. Basically, it ended when I said to her, I said, will you ever speak to me in words that are not contemptuous and disdainful? And she said, no. Straight up. She said, no, I will never talk to you in any way other than this. And I said, I just gave up at that point trying to fix the thing. I said, okay, fine. You win. Let's break up. I break up with you. Fine. If you're just completely unwilling to work with me, don't listen to my words, ignore everything I say, then you leave me no choice. That's not the case here. Rachel is not BPD. She's not been, by and large, abusive to me at all. I would say the repeated threats to break up with me are a form of abuse, but it's not willful at all. It's like she has her moments of whatever. But anyway. Well, if you get paid, I suppose it is ordinary media. If you get paid to be a beggar, then it's a job. Professional gambler is a job, but you might not get paid. Because you call that a profession, but not necessarily a job.
Can I use you as a reference?
Sure. Like for a job or something?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I don't have any hard feelings towards Rachel at all. In fact, I have very positive feelings towards her. I feel sad that she's leaving, but I need somebody who stays in the boat, So it's not. The other thing is, the reason it's not so like life ending as it might otherwise have been is that Rachel's prepared me for this over and over and over again. But it's like I know that I'm going to carry this psychic wound with me in the same way that I do with Kimberly. I feel bad for her.
Stop.
I tried to.
You don't feel bad for me. Why are you doing that? Why can't you just wish the best for me? Why are you saying I'm making?
Because I think you're making a terrible choice.
Well, you are, but maybe I don't think I am.
Okay, well then fine. Hey, fine. You're right. You're right.
So
I wish.
mean.
Hey, Rachel, listen.
What?
I don't want you to suffer. I anticipate you will.
That is terrible.
I don't want it to be the case.
Don't you know? Like, I'm not gonna be with anyone. Like, don't.
I
already know.
So
stop telling me.
So then, why are you making this choice?
So shut up. I'm unhappy. You make me unhappy.
I do?
No, you know what? I'm unhappy. I'm just unhappy, and that's it. I have to work on myself. I told you. I thought I could do it, I can't. I'm not a relationship person. And if I want to be in one, I should be healthy in one. No, I'm not.
Kira Louise says, why has Rachel decided to leave? Could you ask her to explain? Well, she's just explaining right now. She doesn't view herself as healthy.
Viable partner.
As a healthy and viable partner, I guess.
Not. It's true. It's gonna have to be after the fucking holiday.
Not necessarily.
Yes, it is, because the prices for the plane flights are expensive now because people are flying because it's the holiday.
Okay, what I'm saying is I might be able to facilitate that. Okay?
I'm sorry. I thought you could make partner for you. Where's my other case?
Yeah, and it's been. Oh, she got a good night's sleep last night.
Stop talking about me. Talk about something else.
Do I think I did all I could?
You did.
Yeah.
Can we not talk about it? Talk about it when you're gone.
Thank you, Oliver.
I'm sorry. I'm such a terrible partner. I thought I could. I don't know why I thought it was a mistake. A really big one. I know. I don't need to eat for about more.
It wasn't a mistake, Rachel. Even if it didn't work out, doesn't mean it was a mistake.
Yeah, it was.
Why?
Because we're hurting each other's feelings, and it could have been avoided. I made a mistake.
But we had a good 9 months. Why is it a mistake?
Because, like, you know, you need someone who's emotionally stable. I'm not. You said it over and over again. You couldn't have someone like Kimberly, and I feel like that, so I gotta go.
You're not like Kimberly. I never said that.
I know you didn't.
Somebody asked how my last relationship ended. That's why I answered.
I know.
I don't think so, Steely Bob. I don't think this time is going to turn around. I think we're done. Yeah. Yeah. I'm crying again, Taylor.
Doesn't matter. You're gonna get like so many girls. Like,
Michelle, I don't want so many girls, okay? So just chill out about that. Oh, how did this relationship come to this state? Well, it went from perfect to breaking up in 12 hours. You know? So, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, she's right that I can't take the boat jumping. It's too hard on me.
I don't want you too. I don't want to go through this. I don't really think I'm supposed to be with anyone. So, I've always thought that. How the hell do you open this thing?
I'll open it for you.
Don't touch it though.
Well, how did you get it in the first
I don't
place?
know. When I'm in a good mood, I figure puzzles out. What are you doing? There we go.
No, we're not going to do any couples counseling. That's silly. I'm not doing that. Couples counseling is just a way to delay breaking up unnecessarily for however long. It's not a sensible thing to do.
Okay. Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Say what?
Why would you be like, she's making such a big mistake. She's gonna regret it for so long. Blah, 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 blah. Like, leave me alone. Don't you think I'm already upset?
Well, I'm hoping that you'll come to your senses, I guess. But I don't know.
That's not helping. It's making me think that no matter what happens, even if we were to last for like 5 years, you would be like, she made a mistake and she's gonna be damn hurt, blah blah.
Well, I don't know, Rachel. I have a lot of faith in my own worth and value as a partner. I believe I offer a lot that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else.
I think so too.
And that you're going to suffer as a consequence. I'm not trying to hurt you. I think that's what I'm going to have to live with. You know how I internalize that shit.
Don't.
Yeah, you do. I mean, that's the thing, Bubs 333221. We are happy together. And I think we're going to probably separate too. Here, Louise says, "Does Rachel want to call it off completely, or are you still going to be friends?"
Hell no. When it's over, it's over. Duh, INFJ, don't go back. Are you serious? I asked him if I could use him as a reference, for jobs.
Why am I letting her pack? Because I don't want to play Megan.
I don't want to play Megan either. It's not fun.
I've been
It's
forced to
not
play
genuine.
Megan too many times. It is genuine. I mean, how fucking dare you? You're the one leaving. I'm the one consistently doing the work to get you to stay, and you're telling me it's not genuine.
Okay.
Rachel wants commitment, and Eric doesn't take her seriously. That's the way you see it, Raphael. That's kind of nuts. She's on olanzapine. That's fine, Aaron. That doesn't matter at all. That's totally fine. I have no hard feelings about Rachel whatsoever.
You're not talking about it anymore.
Okay, but Rachel.
I'm fine, and I'll pack somewhere else.
No, I'll end the stream.
No,
fine.
no. I'll listen to my music. It's fine. I found my headphones. Where the hell's my...
All right. Taylor, why don't you come to this room here? Okay, look, the thing is, I want to make clear, McDermott Bear, she's not doing that in a narcissistic way. She's not trying to leverage anything. It may be the case that when she feels like there's not a lot of active emotional engagement, that she maybe initiates conflict to create the emotionality. It's possible, but I don't know if that's the case or not. Yeah, Dad. Okay, hold on. Hello?
This is my son. I can't stand out here. Let's go over here. Over here.
Well, she expressed her feelings, and her feelings were validated about the movie. That's sort of true, Sir Alias, but it's also true. It's also true that my feelings weren't respected. Oh, cool.
What's up?
Not much. How's it going, Taylor?
Oh, hold on, that's me. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Am I on the stream or what?
No, we
Or
can't.
what?
Your voice will be heard on the stream through my mics, but you're not. I'm not streaming the software, so that's how you're going to be heard.
Tell them what I'm doing. Describe my SE to them. How
So,
good I look.
right now, Taylor's looking very handsome in a blue bandana, wraparound sunglasses,
It's black.
Salt and pepper
My
beard.
my surroundings are beautiful.
Salt and pepper beard. He's sitting in front of a sliding glass door. He's got what looks like a menthol cigarette.
Always.
I've got a regular. So,
Tell them what clever name I gave myself.
flow state relationship meddler. So, Taylor, despite the fact that you are an ESTP dating an ISFP, you've managed to stay in the same relationship now for quite a long time, haven't you?
I have.
It would seem like I would be better at that than you, but I'm not. Why is that?
I don't have any idea. And if I did, I probably wouldn't speculate your flaws at you right now anyways. Because that's what you're asking for.
Speculate my what? My flaws?
Yeah. You basically said, what's wrong with me?
think I was more asking like, what's your trick? What's your trick? I would ask you, what's the trick to staying in a relationship and not breaking up with somebody?
There wasn't a trick. There was like 4 years of chaos. Things settle into place. But, and I've mentioned this before, which Rachel seems to be on exactly the same page as you. I think it's weird as fuck that you broadcast your drama. That's one thing that I'd never do, is broadcast my relationship drama. But you both seem like totally to prefer that.
Well, I mean,
To each their own.
I can't feel like I'm being able to work something out unless I'm talking about it publicly, because that's how I deal with. That's just how I deal with shit. It's like I need to talk things out.
what role does the audience play? Is it like a reference point? It's an FI reference point, isn't it?
It lets me be heard. If I'm
It's
arguing,
it's not to keep, because like I know that when I've been in fights like that, at some point it's disorientating because you're like getting pulled into the FI and it's intense and you don't know, like it's like
this one though hasn't been very intense at all. Frankly, it's been this is unusually been gone from 0 to 1 billion without a lot of screaming and yelling or anything. It's like she was upset because I didn't follow through on what I said I was going to do and stop watching the movie when she got tired and wanted to go to bed so that we could resume watching it together tomorrow. Right? I didn't do that like I said I was going to. So that's my bad. I didn't follow through.
Did you crying over that?
What? It's not just that. She started packing her bags and said, I want to go home. I don't want to be here with you anymore.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't. Yeah. Whatever. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
I mean, it was just, it was kind of out of the blue. So that's upsetting.
It's sort of a non-committal commitment. It's one of those things you agree to without realizing that you're on the line for.
Right. I mean, the thing is, if she had come at me right away and said, you said meow before we started it, so you better stop watching it, I would have just been like, fine, you're right. But instead, she argued it from kind of like an F perspective and said, but this is really important to me that I want to see this movie really badly. And then I say, well, I want to see it badly too. I don't want to wait till tomorrow. And nothing's preventing you from watching it tomorrow, like that kind of argument.
It's probably about something else altogether. Like you pissing in the sink. She's probably sick of you pissing in the sink.
Well, she pisses in the sink as much as I do.
You guys are animals.
I mean, that's the only bathroom we have out here. Otherwise, I have to walk all the way inside the house.
You haven't broken out any piss jugs yet?
I have my chamber pot here that I piss in. But it's empty at the moment.
The first time I realized that when you pee more than 12 ounces.
Who, me or everybody?
Me, just in general. The first time I tried to pee into a bottle thinking that was going to work, the beer bottle is not enough.
Right, you do pee more than 12 ounces. I agree with you. That's true. I've had that same phenomenon before. I've been like driving and peed in a bottle. And
I was in the passenger seat, yeah.
And been like, oh no, it's overflowing.
You like stick your dick in it. It's to try to put like you put your thumb in a garden hose.
No, that's not the case, Rennie Fox. She started to leave last night. Okay, just something I hadn't brought up last night. It was immediate after this thing that she started packing her bags. She came out here, and her response to me going like, "No, I don't want to wait. I want to finish watching it." Was to come out here and start packing her bags. So, well, I mean, I don't know what to say about that except
nothing you can do about it now. You've already fucked up.
Air
Is that a
conditioner.
microwave built into the wall?
No, it's an air
Oh.
conditioner. I feel bad because Rachel's outside sobbing, but I don't know.
Okay,
what to
but
do.
between you and me, like it, since she's outside, it doesn't seem like a reasonable thing to be so upset about. Oh shit! Thanks for the
It's
warning.
because she's listening to her music in her headphones. Anyways,
I would never, ever,
I mean, just
ever
let it
say
blow
you're
over.
making a mistake.
I'm not the one leaving, so I'm making a mistake.
Why would you wish that upon me?
I don't wish it upon you. I observe it to be the case.
That's so not fair. Why can't you just wish me well? I made a choice.
I wish you
I
well.
want-
Fine. I wish you well. I'm sorry I said that. I mean,
Thank God. It's like,
you want
please.
me to say you're making a good decision in leaving me?
I don't want you to say anything about that at all. I want you to just be like, okay. Like,
Okay. I'm sorry.
I would never, ever be like, you're making a big mistake. And you're going to feel shame about it.
No, I didn't say shame. I said regret. I do feel like you're gonna feel regret, but I'm not trying to use it as a weapon. I'm not trying to use that as a weapon. I think you should be fully
I still want
informed.
to talk to you right now.
Your opinion doesn't matter though. If you guys are, I mean, if that, right?
Daily Bob, Rachel
I
doesn't
don't-
play Magic the Gathering.
I wouldn't give a fuck about your opinion.
Okay, well, the point is, I guess I was trying to make a point that she shouldn't leave, is why I was telling her she was making a mistake. But maybe I shouldn't have said that. I don't know. I mean, should I have said you're making a good decision? I don't understand.
Sounds like that would have got a worse response.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Oh my god, that's fantastic.
I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. I think so, Danny Ainge. I really do think so.
Oh yeah, these puppets are tiny.
Mr. T says she must accept that you are not okay with her leaving if you want her to stay. Well, I mean, at this point, I guess I am okay with her leaving because she's always threatening to leave. So I can't have that, really,
Yeah, that's a disruptive behavior.
It's very much makes it impossible to settle in and be comfortable in a relationship when your partner abruptly says it's over or threatens that it's over, like on a monthly basis. Everyone does have very different thoughts about the matter. The thing, and that tells you something here too, which is Rachel is not a bad person at all. I have no ill feelings towards her. She did not abuse me in a willful way. She did not have accountability avoidance syndrome. When she wronged me, she expressed regret for it and was very apologetic about it and stuff. So the thing is, Monica Query, she's not making. Well, I mean, the thing is, right? That's what's happening here, Monica Query, is that she's conditioned me to the idea of her leaving, so that it's not quite so. She makes me go through the expert of intuition, right? I go, okay, well, what if she does leave? And I walk through all the possibilities and stuff. And I do that over and over again. Pretty soon, I get pretty comfortable with the idea. It's not.
My ex-wife threatened divorce once, and the next day I was talking to a lawyer, which
Right.
I didn't have a place to land that observation. It just seemed relevant.
No, I get it. And that really is kind of the proper way to deal with it. I think maybe this circumstance played out a little bit differently than most because Rachel had stuff that I thought was genuinely not her fault, and that there was possible that medication would solve the problem. And in fact, getting her on her current medication regimen has been an incredible revelation in seeing her be herself. But if it's still happening in this context, well, she's not crazy right now. The medication's working. She may be having a bad day, but if we jump to that sort of conclusion that quickly, even when we're not, I just got to let her go. It wasn't a lot of things led up to it. That's the thing, Jackie. This is the thing I want to stress. We don't have conflicts, by and large. It's been a month since we had any conflict at all. It's not a bunch of little things. We're both very FE towards each other, which is to say, we constantly are leaving the last piece of whatever because neither of us wants to take the last piece. And so it just ends up being a libation to the gods. I'm as perfect a relationship partner as you can get, frankly. So it really isn't a buildup of things. It's a fundamental sense that she doesn't really want to be in a relationship, I think.
That was quite the toot of your own horn you slipped in there.
I mean, it's true, though. That's what happens when you focus on always being defensible, and being fair. So I'm my behavior is entirely defensible. My words are defensible. And when they aren't, I'm fair about it and concede.
I see you're still not buying into the whole biased perspectives concept.
I mean, I understand that there are instances when it does come into effect. For example, when Kimberly would try to rewrite
with other people. For example, when other people do that.
No, I'm gonna tell when I was being irrational. When Kimberly would try to rewrite my my family history, sort of, I would just say, "Don't do that. I don't like it. I don't have any justifications for not liking it. I don't claim to be the winner of this argument that you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying I don't like it. So just stay away from my boundaries." That's an example of me being irrational and biased and saying, I don't need to defend this. I don't want to defend this. I'm just going to insist upon it. And it does happen sometimes, but when it doesn't happen, then that's not what's happening.
Sometimes the best way to handle these stupid emotion things is to sort of break it with some angry sex, like break the energy and have angry sex and then see where you're at after.
Rachel and I don't have angry sex. Okay, when Rachel and I are angry, neither
angry at you. That's why she's fucking angry at you.
No, when Rachel and I are angry at each other, the last time we want to do have sex, we have a lot of sex. Okay, there's no problem with us having too little sex.
Well, apparently it's mood specific. So.
Because neither of us wanted to have sex when we're angry.
Have you asked her how she feels about this?
Yes. Actually,
I don't believe you.
I didn't ask her. She volunteered.
Okay, bring her in. I'll ask her.
She volunteered the information without me asking her. She's on the phone right now to somebody.
It's a quick question.
She's on the phone, Taylor. I'm not going to interrupt her phone call to bring her in here to be questioned by Taylor when she doesn't. She'd prefer, I'm sure, for me not to be having this live stream at all.
Fine, let her tell her mom all about the terrible things you say.
She's not a liar. She's not going to slander me, and I haven't done anything bad. Everything I have done bad has been now open to the subject of conversation.
Well, now this could be what she's angry about.
Angry sex sounds fun, says Infertile Piggy. It doesn't sound fun to me. It sounds FI insensitive.
You're FI polar. Your sensitivity is fake.
It's not fake. It's not fake. It's real.
It's probably less real than you think it is.
No, it's very real. It's just kind of temporary.
Yeah. Like Kira says, FI users are pretty down with that stuff. FI is a weird thing.
If she is in her demonstrative FI, then you must appeal to her FE somehow to get her out of it. I don't want to take responsibility again. I don't want to play Megan again. Taylor, are you familiar with Megan?
No.
Key and Peele do this sketch, okay? Where
What's that?
Key and Peele do a sketch, and Peele plays Megan, and Megan is walking away, and it's like 2 a.m. after a night at the bar, right? And Megan's saying, "That's it. I'm done with it. I'm over it. I'm sorry. I'm just over it." And then her boyfriend's following behind her and saying, "But Megan, you left your jacket. You left your jacket." And then finally goes, "Fine, Megan." And he turns around, and then Megan turns around and looks at him like this. And then he's like, "But Megan." And she goes, "I said I'm over it," and starts walking away again, right? And then he just keeps following her. And I don't want to play Megan. And
Okay, I got it.
yeah, and sometimes she wants to play Megan, and I don't like it. If you're over it, you're over it. If not, then not. But you're not going to play I'm over it, and then as soon as I go, okay, you turn around and give me doe eyes, and then I go, okay, Megan, well, here's your jacket.
Yeah, that game only goes I've only played that game for 2 rounds.
It doesn't go. It's not fun for long, right?
Yeah, I'm not a repeat customer in that shit.
So, I like Lyra A. I prefer your first expression of this. Lyra A. first expressed that they're asking the hard questions, then try to correct it to questions. I like questions better, I think. Oliver Lyhan says, "I would play it for 0 rounds if I thought it was intentional." The thing is, it's not exactly intentional. At least on Rachel's part. Right. The one thing that Rachel has brought,
you get one slip up, right? People can fuck up and act out of sorts. But if you keep acting out of sorts in the same fucking way, you're not really acting out of sorts. You're acting in sorts. And you need to get the fuck out of that sort.
Right. Well, what I was thinking about last night in the car after, she played Pack My Bags was okay, Eric, the reality is one of these times she's going to follow through with it. And so you're never going to be safe, basically. Because even if you convince her this time and she's back supposedly on the same page, she's going to do it again. And one of these times it's going to take, And so you're not ever going to be safe. Is basically what I was thinking. He's going to do this again and again and again, and one of these times is going to work, and then she's going to break up with you, and all the effort you put into maintaining the relationship will be pointless.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the thing that this person says here, Mr. T says, that is plain Megan. What you say right here, Mr. T. You say, if she is SE seeking, then maybe she is taunting you to see if you will actively stop her and put pressure on her to stay, or just kick her out for good. So she's testing you to see what you feel. Right. Well, that's plain Megan. That's like trying to,
Maybe she's trying to coax something out of you, like a response, like an angry response.
I mean, this has happened multiple times is the problem.
That starts with angry and ends with sex.
Listen, odds of them being back together tomorrow, 1 out of 10. I agree with you, Sam Smith.
No, I'll take over 50% odds.
Normally, I'd agree with you. This time, I think you're wrong. She's making phone calls to people. I expressed early on, before we even really got together, that
call her an Uber. Tell her to
no.
Play this game or not play it.
I mean, I think the thing is, I think it's over because I just I can't. I'm not sure if I want to stay together. Whereas I've never voiced that before. It's never been like, yeah, we should probably break up. I'm feeling that way at this point, and so I think it's going to happen. I can't, as I expressed at the beginning of the relationship, I need somebody who stays in the boat.
A receptive participant in this.
Well, I mean, because if I make a list of pros and cons, there are a lot of very good things about the relationship too. I'm not trying to trash Rachel or the relationship.
No, I'm not saying that.
It's
I'm
just
just saying,
one specific behavior.
Since this is the junction you're at, instead of waiting for somebody else to decide how it will be, why don't you decide how you want it to be and then push it that direction?
Well, I think in some sense that's what I'm doing right now. I'm clarifying for myself by talking it out that this is probably the best decision because I don't think she's ever gonna stop doing this jump out of the boat thing. So, but of course, I'm not somebody I'm ignoring. It takes me a lot of words to get to the point. Dr. Perfect?
I like Mr. T. Mr. T, I see you in the comments.
Dr. Perfect, you're wrong about that. For me, a relationship is something that is between people healthy enough that they are comfortable talking shit out. And being honest, because that's how I roll. So being in a relationship with me means that. And she came into that knowing what she signed up for. She said that herself many times. She's fair. She's a good person. There's nothing wrong with Rachel, basically. I have no shit to talk about.
I don't think anyone's saying that she's a bad person.
Right.
Like nobody's under that impression.
Okay, I'm making an affirmative defense here. I'm not just
I know. I'm just tired of hearing you clarify it. Nobody thinks she's bad. We know that you're not saying that.
Yeah, so it's like this has been a really good relationship. It's been very gratifying, satisfying. She's been a great girlfriend by and large, but this one habit is something that I can't put up with. I can't put up with somebody constantly jumping out of the boat.
I mean, not all good people make good lifelong partners. That's
right. That's true. Mr. T, you're wrong. We just got back from doing SE shit. We had a big trip up to Washington State to see Hambone, and we did a bunch of SE stuff. We have sex all the time. We're very sexually active. No, I don't know. That's not correct, Sean Ryan Barron. That is not correct. You are wrong. It is absolutely incorrect to think that being public about one's relationship harms the relationship. Not true. Being private about one's relationship probably harms it because then you're trying to keep secrets or something.
I want to throw in that I think in general, Sean is absolutely correct. But in you guys' circumstance, you guys have a relationship that's built differently in some regards. Mm-hmm. But I think Sean's absolutely right as generic.
Yeah, as a rule for most people, Sean, you're right. It's terrible advice for me. Because I enter my relationships with the understanding that this is what we're doing.
It's really weird, but it's true.
Hey, Dr. Perfect, I've also have problems with people talking in private behind my back, or partners talking about me in private behind my back. That's why I don't do that. I talk in a forum where she's welcome to come and talk too. And where it's all public. I'm not talking shit behind anybody's back. I'm being utterly fair about the forum. Rachel has just as much access to live streaming and all that stuff as I do. She's welcome to do whatever she wants. I've never told her, don't go on here and make videos, don't stream. I mean, if she wants to do that, she's welcome to.
Well,
And the thing is, right now, I gotta say, neither Rachel or I sound very sad. She's talking to somebody on the phone, and she's saying, "Oh, how did you meet? Oh, okay, Cupid. Wow." She's having a perfectly like happy
I
conversation.
told you, you guys need to just break the mood. Apparently, like, I offered a more effective way of doing it, but I guess separating and talking to your friends works.
Well, we don't. I have never had angry sex with Rachel. Every time we're disagreeing with each other or not feeling loving towards each other, we're not interested in sexual intercourse.
You'd probably be an argumentative, whiny motherfucker.
You feel rejected and you reject her? That's hypocritical. Who am I rejecting? I'm not rejecting. I'm accepting. I'm accepting her verdict here. You know? What's so wrong about that? No, she's not asking about OkCupid Verso. She was saying, she's asking her, whoever she's talking to, where that person had met Mia. That person said OkCupid, and Rachel just repeated it. Oh, OkCupid. You know, it's like that.
Plenty of Fish, I've heard, is a better option.
If you were to want to get back together, you're going to do it, or you're really feeling done. I think we're both really feeling done, frankly. Oddly. I wouldn't have anticipated that I'd feel this way. But it was such a pull the rug out from me move, I felt like. That it was just like, okay, again. And the thing is, it's what I came into the relationship saying I can't have anymore. I need the other person to be as into the relationship as I am. I can't be trying to get them back into the boat all the time. I explained this so many times. She threatens to leave because she's so desperate for your love, and she makes a fool out of herself to achieve that, and she puts you on the spot, just like when, say, 2 things you like about her. That wasn't putting me on the spot. I have no problem saying a million things I like about her. It's easy. That's the, I don't like being surprised. One thing that I thought we had agreed on was that if we were going to break up, it would be after some period of extended irreconcilable difference where we couldn't come to agreement about something, and we actually held different positions, and we had tried to work it out for a stretch and stuff like that. But you know, if she's gonna pull the rug out, then
that's the silliest thing to think that you could do, like preemptively set up breakup conditions and think that those will hold.
I mean, those are healthy breakup conditions.
I'm just saying, like, when you break up, it means that things have broken down, and I would assume that would for sure include the I mean, if you were ready to break up someone, would you remember the contract you guys had agreed to and then go, you know what, I'm going to stick this shit show out?
No, I would not break up with them until I knew it was entirely defensible.
Well, defensibility isn't the measure of everything.
I agree it shouldn't be in this instance, but I'm telling you what I would do, not what I should do. I'm telling you what I would do, not what I should do. If you want to leave, there's no downside to just leaving. Well, we don't have our lives as intertwined as Kimberly and I did. You know, it's like it's a lot easier for her to leave this relationship than it was for me to leave Kimberly. In terms of just logistics, you know. So anyway,
well, then we should invite some girls into this into this.
Okay, Raphael says this. This is the kind of shit Raphael says all the time. You say you are the best musician. I have never said that, ever. And the best MBTI typer. I have said that. You don't bring up reasons for that because it's so complicated to explain. No, I've given plenty of reasons why I'm the best typer. Shit tons. I just don't necessarily want to repeat myself all the time. Okay? So,
Yeah, Raphael. With your stupid ass accusations, stupid ass comments.
thanks, Mr. T. I appreciate it. Mr. T says I'm a pretty good musician, though. I actually think I'm a pretty good musician. I don't think I'm the best musician at all. I don't think I'm a particularly great musician. I think I'm unusually good at making and producing music compared to most average people. But I don't think I'm good enough, as I've said plenty of times. Otherwise, I'd be timeless and immortal and famous. I don't claim to have a monopoly on truth. Ethan McDonald, do not make fucking objectively false claims like that. I do not claim to have a monopoly on truth. It would be demonstrably false if I claimed to have a monopoly on truth. I have never made that claim. Never once in a million years.
That was a super effective comment.
Go ahead, Taylor. Sorry.
I just want to compliment Ethan on the effectiveness of his one sentence.
Yeah, all you gotta do is say something that's complete fucking bullshit about me, and I will respond to it. Usually. I claim to have a monopoly on truth. When have I ever made that claim? Just because you don't like that you're an ISTJ doesn't mean that I claim to have a monopoly on truth.
But I mean, you've got a bigger share than most people.
Thanks. Your singing voice sounds like talking, but your ear and soul is excellent. Thank you. I have a monopoly on being hysteric. That's about it. And even that, people like Queen's Gambit try to steal away from me my own identity.
He really is trying to get attention by being an antagonist everywhere, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an interesting fellow. What type do you think he is? Do you know? Have you watched enough of his shit to know?
Yeah, I think I know, but I don't. I'm hesitant to just open that public debate. I don't like picking at people's type publicly because then you never have this never-ending fucking discussion.
Fair enough. Ethan McDonald says, I offer something better than anyone else, a system to invalidate itself. Yeah. That's not a yada, 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 snake oil salesman? No. That's what a sensible person would say. I can provide you a way to yourself invalidate my system, to test it yourself objectively. That's not what a snake oil salesman would say. A snake oil salesman would say the opposite or avoid discussing that issue entirely. So once again,
snake oil salesman would try to tell you what a snake oil salesman would say.
Probably not. Snake oil salesman would avoid the issue of snake oil salesmanhood entirely.
Oh, bullshit. Not a good one.
Okay. Well, fine. I'll concede that point. The snake oil salesman might, in general, talk about how snake oil salesmen talk is fine. However, I'm not selling snake oil because you haven't pointed to any aspect of what I presented that would represent bullshit. And the obligation is there on you.
Fucking money yet either.
The obligation is on you. I'm not selling anything either. That's the other thing. I'm not maximizing profits at all. So, just because I'm right and you don't like your type is not a reason to conclude I'm a snake oil salesman. I've given you plenty of reasons why I think you're the type you are, and you haven't responded to any of them. You just attacked me personally by saying I say I have a monopoly on truth, or you think I'm a snake oil salesman. Well, that's called avoiding the points I've made. That's what people who are wrong do. Ethan McDonald.
He really did fantastic though at walking in and throwing one sentence and just wrenching
Yeah,
Your attention
that's true.
spectrum.
He's good.
I mean,
he did a good
his
job of being
effectiveness
provocative.
was impressive.
He was successfully provocative. Curious Kyrie, you like to see a typing session? Well, if you're so sure I'm wrong, Ethan McDonald, you just got to give me the go ahead to publish that typing session. I'll publish it right now. Everybody can watch it and make their own conclusions. If you don't think that you should trust my judgment, why don't you let me publish the video so you can have the judgment of all the people who watch it and their comments? Wouldn't that make sense since you don't trust my judgment? I encourage people to disagree with me. Or, you're not disagreeing with me. You're just attacking me. Yeah, people don't want to be ISTJs and they don't want to be ESFPs. But I ain't going to lie to them.
That's exactly what a liar would say when they're lying.
But it's also what somebody telling the truth would say when they're telling the truth.
We're in a hell of a spot then.
All types matter. Hashtag all types matter.
All types don't matter until delta types matter.
Nothing wrong with the ESFPs of the world. What did I say about them again? Oh yeah, people don't want to be those things. It's not the case though that they're bad to be. It's that people don't want to be those things. It's not like, very rarely do I have somebody who I typed as ENTP go, no, I'm not ENTP. Very, very rarely do I have somebody who I type as INTP who goes, no, I'm not INTP. I have people who I type as ESFP. None of them ever say, yes, I'm ESFP. None of them. So am I just always wrong about ESFPs? No. They consistently don't want to be ESFPs. Because that's not a very romantic type to be, right? And they're using their FI tool function to decide what their type is. They decide by what their type is by what they want their type to be. I would say it's weird. It's like FI polar is weird, right? I have this huge well of emotion in me right now about my relationship. I am at the same time sort of SI assuming that things are going on as usual underneath. So I'm like halfway thinking like, oh, I'll go tell Rachel about this pretty soon and we'll laugh about that or whatever. But then I'm halfway going, oh, we're breaking up and she's leaving. And FI polar is weird because you can really, really compartmentalize. It's like in the middle of this conversation about typology, I totally forgot for a second about my other woes, even though it's underlyingly meow. Underlyingly meow. Underlyingly meow. Underlyingly meow.
You're a penguin, not an ESFP.
Ethan McDonald, you're not an ESTP. You are a ISTJ. You are not an ISTP either. If you want Taylor to type you, I think you should do that. If you really want to know what type you are, though, of course, you could just let me publish the video.
I don't think I typed him. Ethan, if you're suggesting, I don't think I typed you.
Dr. Perfect says, I'd rather live 200 years as a rock than be an ESFP for 50 years. Interesting. Jackie says, this is putting a damper on my mood. Crying eyes. You have crying eyes? I'm sorry.
You should have been here half an hour ago.
I don't mean to make you have crying eyes, Jackie. 16%.
You're making everybody cry today.
I'm not saying ESFP is bad. I'm saying people don't want to be an ESFP. I don't know why they don't want to be it. It doesn't have a very fancy sounding.
Because sensors are stupid. Everybody knows.
Oh, Taylor. If sensors are stupid, how is it my dad is always one step ahead of me? He's an ESTJ.
Well, because they also do stuff.
Right. Okay. I guess that's the case. Now I feel depressed.
You want to take big rips from your bong?
Yeah, I should probably take a bong rip. Might help a little bit. I hate being sad.
Well, ignore it. How's that for some F bipolar advice?
You see, I can think about it in terms of Enneagram instinctual variance. I'm SX first, and when I can't go to my partner, then I go to SO. I want company of a group. And that's what that's why I'm here instead of just being sad by myself.
You'd probably be crying if you were by yourself still.
Yeah, I'd just be sad or sleeping, you know? I probably wouldn't be.
Oh, yeah.
I
Sleeping off shit's a good way to go.
I probably wouldn't be crying very, very actively for very long. It tends to happen when I'm talking to somebody, not when I'm by myself exactly. Although sometimes.
Well, maybe you'll stop that someday.
I already slept it off earlier today. Is she leaving today? I don't know. I guess she's all packed up. She looks like she's all pretty well packed up, I guess. Well, like I said, because she's
Sam Smith has a point down there.
sex for us getting really good these days. Because
there's somebody's building one that's who's that chick? Who's the environmental girl? That like European girl who's like always appalled that
Greta, what's her name?
Yeah, somebody's designing a Greta one. And one of the phrases is like, it says her little phrases like, "You appalled me." Terrible, but
I'll probably be single for the indefinite future. I'm not going to get another relationship right now because it's not a good time, I guess. I need to be here for my dad and my mom and find out what's going on with that, and so I'm gonna try to stay out of entanglements for a bit, which probably means a stretch of celibacy as well, because it's like I don't want to go have a lot of humpings with different people. That seems seedy. Yeah. I guess it's true that being single will mean I probably do more work, I guess, and yada yada. Yeah, celibate. I'm not gonna make the mistake I made in the past of trying to date or whatever, or find a new girlfriend or anything like that. I'm just gonna be single and celibate for a very decent stretch of time. Why not bone a little though? Because it's entanglement. I'm just gonna be single. I'm gonna be celibate, and that's just it. And I'll just focus on work and stuff.
You're gonna get pissy.
Well, look, I'm not gonna say I'm not saying it's forever, but it's gonna be for a stretch of time anyway. Okay. Well, look, I'm in an unusual situation regarding that stuff. And so it's like I had kind of a clear choice to make. I'm either, this is the choice I've already made in advance, which is I'm either, and being clear that I am single and celibate and not dating, which is what I'm going to do, or I'm going to end up having a bunch of chicks throw themselves at me. It's weird, but that's the reality of it. So I don't want that, so I'm going to do the former. What do you think about that, Taylor?
I wasn't listening.
All right, let me tell you again. I said that I'm in a weird situation because for me, it's if I'm either, I have a choice between either saying I'm making it be clear that I'm single, celibate, and not dating, which is what I'm going to do, or I'm going to have a bunch of chicks throw themselves at me, and I don't want that.
I mean, obviously, I think that you're whack.
You think I'm a whack MC who acts like a clown?
I do think that too.
Okay, that's fair. But the thing is,
Lawnmower is distracting me down here because about MGTOW. Lawnmower, then what is MGTOW? I think MGTOW is on a level, like there's a logic behind the headline, but then once you get into it with any depth at all, it's a bunch of bitter men who have formed part of their identity around varying degrees of antagonism towards women. It's
the She-Man Woman Haters Club.
Like I don't drink coffee, but I don't like form my identity around not drinking coffee. Well, I know that they call it men's right activists, but really, at the end of the day, what you have is a lot of dudes who are pissed off at men because they won't deliver a vagina to them in their mom's basement. It's group normalization of low expectations. No matter how much you put the men's rights or no matter how much you try to dress up what it's about, really that's not what it is once you get into it.
It's accountability avoidance in part. It's saying
it's like people saying Antifa is anybody who doesn't like fascists. So if you don't like fascists, you're Antifa. No, they're different.
The problem with it is it's trying to renounce one's own agency as a reproductive agent, right? Like it's saying the idea of an incel is somebody who is basically saying I am not responsible for whether I get laid or not. Somebody else is. The woman is, right? That's what it means to call yourself involuntarily celibate. So,
Anybody who self-applies the title is certainly deep enough into the guts of it to have rummaged around in the women are all sluts who like chads and they don't care about us good guys with our great virtues because they're shallow and they just want money. It gets into that stuff.
right. It's like thinking that because women have because of the nature of the sexual marketplace, that you can just renounce your own agency that produces MGTOW, and it's silly. But
Blame it on everybody else.
right, blame it on everybody else.
Like, get in there. If you don't like your position in the sexual marketplace, do something about it. There are tons of ugly fucking weirdo dudes who pull ass because they put in the effort.
Hi, Dad.
Like,
Are you done with the ladder?
Oh, hold on.
Sorry
about that. I'll be right back.
Sorry.
I doubt that there are Buddhist monks who would consider themselves MGTOW. You can't just scoop in all these other people who are unwitting members of MGTOW. His name was Robert Paulson. I mean, that's the whole of it. That's the whole of figuring out how to date or talk to girls or talk to guys. You just have to fucking do it and learn from your mistakes. But hang out with your internet friends, patting yourselves on the back for being too enlightened to chase these thoughts around. It's like a circle jerk for your own bruised egos.
My name is spelled Rachel.
Oh,
Hey,
hey.
Winston's mom. My headphones are really high, so they might get a thing for that. Am I scoping anyone? I'm always better after I cry. Aren't you, Mr. T?
I mean, but Lawnmower, there's nobody who would have. I mean, you'd think Michael Phelps stayed celibate his whole career. Michael Jordan
No.
stayed celibate. These are
No.
false dichotomies.
Exactly. They definitely wish they did. They probably jerked off every day. Michael Jordan stays celibate? No way.
No. Now, Mike Tyson did do like little stints of it before fights. I mean, it for sure wasn't
You know what?
a lifestyle, but
I
he would.
met his
Yeah.
niece, and she said that if he never got into boxing, like he regrets getting into boxing. That it changed like the person that he is. Yeah, that like
But he's such a beast. He was so good at it.
yeah, he was. I know. I don't think he probably couldn't do anything else, you know? Like I don't think he came from a good upbringing. But cuz she was pretty like I don't know, whatever, but yeah, apparently like Mike Tyson, he wasn't always like that. Boxing brought out the fighter in him even more so.
He had a fucked up childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been a nice little prep.
No.
But yeah, he got found young, and his trainers sort of took advantage of the fact that he was young and a kind of a lost kid that they could turn into a fucking monster.
Yeah. Yeah. Hundo. Yeah, but it made him a career, so.
Made him a hell of a lot of money, and you know what? I thank him for it, because Mike Tyson and Michael Jordan are the two athletes that if you like just go on YouTube and watch a compilation of them, like they're fucking incredible.
I mean, they, except for when it comes to business, Michael Jordan should never have been a baseball player, and he never should have opened up that chain in South Carolina. He opened up a chain of restaurants, and it just like, I don't know. Sports-wise, though, he's phenomenal. I mean, you can't top Jordan in basketball. I would like to see how LeBron plays with the Lakers. If he steps up, I'd like to see that, but I don't know if I'm staying now. I'm actually waiting. I said that I don't have the money for a ticket to New York right now because the cost is too expensive because of the holidays. So he said that he could figure that out. Yeah, I think he said he would figure it out.
Hey, if you want,
No, it's okay.
you can have it for a stretch, and I can go outside if you want.
No, it's fine.
Why would I do what? Why would I do what?
If Michael Jordan was celibate, then he like
But-
probably was.
I mean, Lon, if you're on deployment and you're sleeping in a fucking camel hut, you're probably not having sex, and it's probably not because you identifying as MGTOW. You're on deployment. I mean, people have to self-apply that title. I don't think that's something that just, oh, you're doing other things now, so you're MGTOW. You don't just like fall in and out of that willy-nilly. It's a self-applied thing. So if your friends self-apply the title, then they are MGTOW.
Yeah.
But if they're just on deployment, they're just dudes on deployment.
Okay, well, I'm not perfect, Kiera Louise. It's true. I'm imperfect.
But just barely. You're getting really close.
I'm just saying I have made a couple of mistakes.
Lawnmower, do these specific people self-apply the title? Or are you applying it for them? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I see Kiera Louise. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. Raphael, chill out. Chill out. Well, that's a good idea, Kyra. I warned Eric to not be alone in a space. Who are you talking about, Aaron? Okay. Everything is getting, because you're getting a little nasty, Raphael. That's why. Everyone just chill out. I've lost the thread of this conversation as well. I think Taylor's mostly talking about MGTOW. I was talking about MGTOW some. Yes, of course I will. I'm not trying to at no point in this process will I try to punish, be vengeful, or spiteful towards Rachel.
MGTOW, men going their own way, is a statement of self-ownership when the modern man preserves and protects his own sovereignty above else. It is the manifestation of one word, no, ejecting silly preconceptions and cultural definitions of what a man is. Looking to no one for social cues, refusing to bow, serve, and kneel for the opportunity to be treated like a disposable utility. That's the very first paragraph of the MGTOW.com website. It is fundamentally defiant of some perceived degradation from women. It's fundamentally got misogynistic undertones and victimhood undertones. Okay, incels are like the special forces of MGTOW.
All right, I'm gonna end this live stream now. I gotta go.
We're talking about MGTOW.
I know, but I gotta go. I'm ready to sit here and
You're
chat with
stupid.
Rachel.
You're gonna fail because you're ending this right now.
Bye, everybody.